the human body actually emits light. Right now, sitting wherever you are, your body is glowing. You just can't see it. Not metaphorically, not because you're warm. Your body is actually emitting tiny amounts of visible light from your face, your hands, your chest. Even while you're sitting in complete darkness, the glow is millions of times too faint for your eyes to detect. But with instruments sensitive enough to measure individual photons, scientists can reveal something your own senses have hidden from you your entire life. To understand how this is possible, we need to go inside your cells. Right now, trillions of chemical reactions are keeping you alive. Your cells consume nutrients, they use oxygen, they transfer energy, they repair damage. This collection of chemical processes is metabolism. But metabolism isn't perfectly clean. Normal cellular activity can produce highly reactive molecules, including reactive oxygen species. Your body has systems designed to control them. But during these reactions, molecules can sometimes enter unusually energetic states. And when those molecules return to lower energy states, something extraordinary can happen. They can release photons, tiny packets of light. Wait, what? Some of the chemistry keeping you alive can literally produce light. Scientists call this phenomenon, or UPE. It has been measured in living organisms, including humans. But before you imagine people secretly glowing like fireflies, there is an important distinction. Humans are not visibly bioluminescent. Bioluminescent organisms such as fireflies use specialized biochemical systems capable of producing obvious visible light. Human ultra-weak photon emission is completely different. It is vastly fainter and appears to be largely associated with ordinary metabolic and oxidative processes. Your eyes could never simply adapt to the darkness and suddenly see it. The emission is far too weak. Your eyes could never simply adapt to the darkness and suddenly see it. The emission is far too weak. The pattern also changed throughout the day. Your invisible glow may not even be constant. It reflects processes happening inside living tissue. But there is another type of radiation your body produces much more strongly: infrared. Everything with a temperature above absolute zero emits thermal electromagnetic radiation. Because your body is warm, it constantly emits infrared radiation. Thermal cameras can easily detect this and create those familiar images where warm areas appear bright. But infrared is outside the visible spectrum. Ultra-weak photon emission is different. Some of these photons fall within wavelengths humans could normally perceive as visible light, if enough of them arrived at once. They don't. Imagine standing miles away from a single candle. Now make that light enormously weaker. That begins to capture the problem. The photons are real. Your visual system simply isn't sensitive enough to turn them into an image, which leads to something deeply strange about reality. For your entire life, your definition of darkness has depended on the limitations of your eyes. A room can look completely black to you, while sensitive equipment still detects photons coming from your own body. The darkness wasn't empty. You simply lacked the biological equipment to see what was happening inside it. And scientists are still studying what these emissions can tell us, because oxidative processes are connected to cellular activity. Researchers have investigated whether ultra-weak photon emission might provide information about physiological states, stress, disease processes, or changes in metabolism. But this is an active field of research. There is still much scientists do not fully understand about the precise mechanisms, biological significance, and potential medical usefulness of these emissions. Detecting a phenomenon does not automatically mean we understand everything it represents. And that might be the most fascinating part. Humans spent thousands of years studying the body without knowing this faint light was there. Not because it suddenly appeared, because our technology finally became sensitive enough to detect something our senses could not. Think about what that means. Your experience of your own body is incomplete. You hear your heartbeat, you feel warmth, you see your skin, But beneath those familiar sensations exists an enormous world of chemistry, electrical activity, molecular motion, and even tiny flashes of light. No supernatural explanation required. Reality is strange enough on its own, and perhaps that is the real WTF moment. You don't need to travel to another galaxy to discover something invisible and extraordinary. You are carrying it around with you right now. Every second you're alive, countless processes are happening beyond the limits of your perception. Some create heat, some create electrical signals, and some release photons that may travel away from your body without you ever knowing they existed. For your entire life, your body has been producing signals you never knew existed. If this changed the way you think about the body you're living inside, subscribe. Every single day, we uncover another hidden truth about reality, science, space, and the human mind. Because the world is filled with phenomena happening just beyond the limits of your senses.